everybody. Of course, we have a little bit of a gap. Let's turn my camera. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jack, UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, donut connoisseur. First stream of 2024 with me. How's everybody doing? Oliver, I asked in the chat how everybody's 2024 is going. Oliver says, so far wet. Starting to feel like I should have asked for an arc for Christmas. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, very rainy. Although we did finally get some snow here, like this past yesterday and the day before, I feel like. So finally got some actual winter weather versus just very rainy. It's been very like spring-like this year in Ohio. Anyways, we're gonna work on a project that I kind of maybe forgot about a little bit, sort of, and that's because, as per usual, I start on something and then I start on something else. Oh, okay. Oliver's saying ark. It's the thing in the Bible where they put two of each animal to save them from the floods. I think I meant ark. Yeah, ark spelled A-R-K instead of A-R-C. I was thinking like the shape arc, and I was like, I'm missing. Something is lost on me. Anyways, let's get right over to it. Oh, I do want to let everybody know as well that starting next week, we're gonna be back to the Illustrator challenges. So I'll be doing, though, with a little bit of a twist. Let me see if I can pull up. Let's see if they're up on Behance yet. Taking a look at the Adobe Live schedule, see if they're up. It doesn't look like it. So I don't have any links for that yet. Oh yes we do. We have them, but we don't have covers. Alright, we'll just go with that. So let me pop over to my other screen. Arisha, let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Sarab, let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for the compliments. Yeah, on my background here, if you're a subscriber here to me on Behance, I actually have the animated version of the animated background and the static, which I'll switch to now. Over here you can see I've got a static desktop version as well. You can actually download those if you're a subscriber and use them as you see fit. But starting next week, we'll be back to the challenges, which will be fun. So come hang out with me. They'll be a little bit different this time around. You can also access them. Let me make sure. Let me double check before I send you over there. From the behance.net /challenge/illustrator. There we go. Oh my gosh, I can't line it up. There. And that will have all the past challenges and stuff like that. And then each day these will show up as they kind of unlock. But they will be a monthly challenge this time, kind of a thing, or weekly. It'll be the full month of January, and it'll be once a week. So it'll give you a little bit more time to spend on the challenges. And I can tell you what they're about since we've already got them kind of up here now. So what we'll be doing for the month of January, I thought this would be a good way to kick off the new year. We'll be doing a full set of branding. So I'm keeping them all kind of like related. But if you join for like in the middle or whatever, you'll still be able to catch up because I'll be going through like everything kind of from the beginning. But we're going to start with brand discovery. We're going to create our logo. We're going to create a logo family, and then we're going to create mock-ups. So we're going to go through a whole process. I've got a presentation template that I've made for you, so you'll be able to kind of like put everything together, and by the end of the project you should have like a client ready presentation to share with clients. That's the idea. The idea is that you'll be able to actually have something that's like a complete branding presentation. Nice. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more advanced. Yeah, we're still gonna be trying to keep them like, if you're just kind of beginning, you can kind of follow along with me, but the idea is like I really want to like do like a full we typically only get like a half an hour to dedicate towards like branding, but kind of doing like this, I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more like larger depth You know what I mean? Into more depth. Like, we'll have one just dedicated to brand discovery. We'll have one just dedicated, and you'll be able to, like, if you're doing all 4 throughout the month, you'll be able to kind of like follow along and kind of build out this project as you go, because you have like you'll be able to spend a week on brand discovery, just kind of like figuring all of that out. You'll be able to spend a week really like sketching out your logos using the techniques I'm going to show you. So that's the idea. So come hang out. It'll be a good time. Thank you, Corey, for sharing the link. Also, hello to everybody that joined in the chat. Oliver, I said hi to you already. Stian, hi to Sean. Sean's streaming here on Behance. Let's see. Oliver's saying, oh yeah, I remember this being mentioned before. I might actually be able to give them a go on that time scale. Yeah, they're gonna be, it'll be interesting. It's also nice because they'll be doing them once a week, so like one day will be, I think one day is gonna be me, there'll be Photoshop on another day, and then video on another day. So they'll be like, all of the creative challenges will be weekly, and I know that a lot of people like to do all of the challenges, so you'll be able to have like, let's say you do want to do the Photoshop, video, and design, I guess we're calling this, Illustrator, you'll be able to do them if you want, versus like, people in the past who've done all of them have been like, I have one day to do 3 challenges. So, yeah. And then of course we have the community day at the end, so there we go. Yeah, the community day will be on a Friday. My plan, I'm hoping to like go over, well, I don't want to give too much away, so let me scroll up and make sure. Oliver says I always want to do all of them and struggle to do any of them. Yeah, that's the reoccurring feedback we're hearing. Yeah, Sean's saying take them as far as you want with them. That's the idea, is that you can like, you know, if you're more advanced, you can obviously keep going with the challenges. You can like, I would highly encourage you, like Stian's saying here, to make a brand for my design Instagram. I've been ignoring that forever. Yeah, if you can, it's a great opportunity to start like your own personal brand. I know that a lot of people are probably thinking about that in the new year, like thinking about like starting their own business, or like how can I get branding clients, you know, and I'm hoping that the template I put together for you, and the format and everything kind of helps, you know, give you the information you need to like get that off the ground. So Kevin's saying, I like this new format. I try to do all of them, but run out of time. 100%. I agree with that. So, alright, so this is the Crock of Time stickers. I've done enough talking. We worked on this quite a bit. You can see over here, I've got a list of notes. This is actually the 5th stream on this. I think I got all 4 parts. But, we're going to be working on these stickers. This is for Corey's Crock of Time. Patreon, Crock of Time. Corey has a Crock of Time, like, food and fermentation community. So a lot of this stuff is geared towards that, with the sourdough, with the miso, you know, pickles, that sort of a thing. So we're kind of theming it along the brand that we created for Crock of Time here, using similar colors, using, I guess, a similar kind of style, to create these kind of like pun stickers. Yeah, Corey's waving in the chat. Corey's one of the moderators. I've got links to all of the moderators and all of and Corey's stuff in the chat if you want to go check it out. But this is like the 5th stream, so we've done quite a bit of brainstorming, and then we kind of fell off. It's been a while since we worked on this. I think we were done it last July, and then I got just like inundated with other projects like the coffee brand with Peristyle. So this is where we kind of left off. I think we were working on the wizard at the time, which we still need to figure out. And I don't know if we have any, Corey, I don't know if we have any text associated with it, or it's just meant to be like the wizard design. We do need to kind of get it into a sticker format instead of just kind of like currently kind of free-flowing. Oh, pondering my crock, right, okay. And it's supposed to be a meme that I did not understand at first, so maybe people in the chat understand that. Is kimchi fermented? Yes! We just had a kimchi, what's it called? A kimchi party. A kimchi making party, which has a specific name. Kimjang. Actually in October we had a kimjang? I believe it was. November? Okay, I lost track of time. But we just had one of those, and we had friends over and made kimchi, which is like a whole thing, because it's like a very large-scale production. But that was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for something for like a kimchi-related sticker, I'd love to do that. Love to hear it. So there we go. Is there a specific name for kimchi making party? A mess. It is very messy because of all the red, what's it called? I don't want to get the name of it wrong. The paste.
Well, we don't use the paste, we use
Gochugaru. The red chili flakes. George! Happy New Year to you, and welcome, everybody, to 2024. Indeed. I hope you're all having a great start to your year. Let me scroll up, because I feel like somebody said, Arisha, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I apologize if I'm not. This would be a good exercise for you because of the timelines. I can stop overthinking about my designs and just get done with them. Yeah, I feel that. I think like a week is the sweet spot to like spend enough time. You know, it gives you, I like the idea of the weekly challenges because it gives you a break, right? Like whenever I'm working on something, I'll like work on it for a bit and then I'll also, like there's the passive side of work where like you're not working on it, but your brain is sort of like, it's like percolating in the background while you're doing other stuff. I think that's really important to have that like stepping away. Arisha. Okay, is that correct, Arisha? Thanks. Thank you for the pronunciation. I do try. I always want you guys to point out to me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, because I don't want to do that. Stan says definitely sometimes it's hard to just accept you're done, even though it feels like you could work forever. Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill to kind of learn and pick up, to kind of like know when your own work is done here. So we were going with this very I don't know what you call this, like angular style, which I think Corey was a fan of, so we're gonna keep it rolling. I do want to get a couple more, I think, details defined out here in the sleeves, which is going to be a little bit trickier since those are going to be a bit more organic shapes. So let me just kind of start. Let's kind of go across. I'm just gonna give myself something to work with first on either side. I don't really want these to be perfectly symmetrical. So I'm gonna not do that. And Arisha is saying, with passion projects I can go on forever, I will never be satisfied. Oh yeah, I mean I can totally relate to that. Another project that's sort of in limbo right now is the Society of Sprinkles, which I spent a lot of time on that. That was a big project. I actually had, and I feel like I might have mentioned this before, we started working on a donut poster based on that, and then I got the great idea from it was like a combination. I think it was Val and Cody Bear, if you know, from Adobe Live, suggested that I do like a donut, like instead of just do like a donut chart, do like a donut anatomy type of a thing. So I might kind of take it in that direction. I haven't really decided yet. So speaking of other projects that are not finished, they're just kind of out there lingering. Actually, I don't really like this. I'm gonna bring this down. There we go. understand staying sane, but when I see other people work, I'm like, this is perfect, you're done. Yeah. The struggle. Oh, I also don't know if I showed you the final for, I think I might have finished it just kind of off stream if I showed you the final of where we ended up with Yoann and stuff. I could pop that open as well. Because I don't think I showed you that. Let's go. I want to open my cloud files. Or this one. Here it is, right there. So this is where this ended up for Yoann, if you were curious. We worked on this the previous stream, and a couple streams before that. So there we go. That was the final for Ship Song Book Volume 12. I ended up going in a different direction with this type, which I think stands out a little bit better. I just only activated my thing. So there we go. Hey, Unicorn. Oliver says, I love this. Well, you can go check out, I've got links to Yoann stuff in the description if you want to go. The album is now for sale on Yoann's, I think primarily he sells on Bandcamp, although he has a Spotify and Apple Music thing too, so, and Amazon? I think he's on Amazon too, but there you go. Finished. And he loved it. He thought this was the bee's knees. There we go. Corey sent a link. Said this was his favorite one so far, but I think he says that every time. So I don't know how to take that. I guess it's a good thing that we're always kind of improving. So also, before I get too far, I want to I mentioned that we've got links to Corey's stuff and the other moderators in the description, but I've also got links to Yoann's stuff in the description, like I said. I also want to shout out that we've got a bunch of live streamers in the chat, so please go and support the other people that stream here on Behance. They're all amazing folks. We had Sean in here, I don't know if Sean's still around, Sean Kozel, and Umacorn. So go and click on their links and go check out their work as well. I have missed a lot of y'all's live streams over the holidays. Need to get back into it, you know? Also, Corey is technically, I guess, the client on this, so Corey, if you have any feedback for what I'm doing, feel free to share. It's always fun. It's a rare treat to have the person whose work I'm working on in the chat. At least I think so. I'm gonna lighten this actually. I'm gonna go with a slightly lighter. I don't think it needs to be that dark. I'm also questioning now if these should be that dark. I'm gonna make this lighter and then maybe just like put one slightly heavier. I don't like how heavy it is. So we're gonna grab this. And I'm just gonna go kind of inside. I don't want it to be the, like, focus of attention, if that makes sense. I do have smart guides on, which is why I'm just kind of, like, able to draw sort of, keeping those angles. Your vibe is so comfortable, I love it. I try to be very real on my streams. You know, this is how I work. This is what I do. I love the facial expression on this guy. I feel like we really did a good job there. I'm here for it. think I want to go really thin on this. Let's start higher. I don't really like that. I like that better. Also, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about what I'm doing or about Illustrator in general. So, Sean says, wait till you see when I get Jack laughing, or is that only in our streams? Yeah, that too. Like I said, Sean is also a streamer here on Behance, so go ahead and check out Sean's profile. But also, Sean and I run the Firefly events. If you are a member of the Firefly Discord, you can come hang out with Sean and I, which is a good time during the week, Monday through Thursday. It's 11 a.m. Eastern, which I think is 8 a.m. Pacific, if you want to go check those out. They're a lot of fun. We have a good time. And this is a format that I've been playing with. I haven't historically, I guess, streamed during the week. But I've been doing it lately because it seems like there's, you know, quite a few people that are in, like, a time zone that, like, you know, like in the UK and Europe and all that, this time zone works out better for them, or this time slot, because it's like afternoon, evening their time, versus like super late at night, which is what I normally stream. I've streamed normally in the past at like 4 p.m. my time, which ends up being quite late in the evening. And so I've been toying with this time slot on Fridays to see if this, and it seems to be working. I seem to get a few folks that I usually miss during the week, miss during the weekends. It's been fun to have y'all come hang out with me. Is there such a thing as too many badgers, spiders, and breadsticks? I mean, I feel like that's gonna be up to you all. Eventually, I feel like y'all are gonna get bored of the... I don't like that very much. I think for the top of this, I want to go like this. Like I said, I will oblige. In the Firefly, they're talking about an inside jokes in the Firefly Discord about some reoccurring themes. Can we call them themes? Characters that appear in the prompts. So it all started with breadsticks, that's for sure. I'm trying to figure out, I kind of want to add like another like overall light color, and I want to figure out what that looks like. Breadsticks and all downhill from there. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Let's go kind of through and across. And then down again. And then across. And I'm just gonna do this. It's gonna be weird for a minute, but trust me. Oh, I lost my Pathfinder window. Watch, it's gonna show up on the opposite screen. Oh, it showed up on this screen. That's like the first. Alright, let's see. I might want to... This is a... Oh, it's not a swatch. It's supposed to be a new color that I added. Unless it's this color. It is. Alright, let's do select same fill color. Let's make sure we're using that swatch. And then I'm gonna... I don't think I want to go down. You just see, I think I want to go... down a little bit this way. Something like that. It was the Olive Garden that did me in. That sounds like a... like you're telling a... like a story or something. Like, oh, it was... after the Olive Garden, it was all downhill. Actually, let's delete that and enjoy it. I kind of like that. Thoughts? I don't know if I'm going too far. You'll have to keep me in check, Corey. Who wants to go and get kicked out of an Olive Garden? I mean, I don't. You like the middle tones? Thanks! Alright, we're gonna do a similar thing here. And hopefully it'll work. Let's just start with this. Oh, I must have accidentally. I see what I did there. What was I thinking here? You've never been to Olive Garden? I suppose it is kind of like a very American thing. This one's gonna be a little bit tricky. I haven't totally defined the top part of the sleeve. You're Arisha says, I'm from India, we don't get Olive Gardens. Yeah, I think it might be more of an American thing. Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like the way this looks. We do have second copies of Olive Garden though. Like Italian, similarly themed Italian restaurants. I think I want to do... Let's delete some of this and join. Let's do this. I'm gonna go up. And then I'm gonna go on the other side. needs to be a little bit shorter. Too tall. Why am I putting highlight on the shadow side? Because I don't know. Maybe not then. I'm trying to sort out this sleeve. Maybe we need to make this wider. Did the music get louder or more assertive there for a bit? Oh, potentially. The ending of that song is a bit much. Actually, let's undo this. Undo. So sorry if Yoann blew your mind for a minute. I feel like I set up like auto adjusting so that everything's like equalized. I suppose it's possible that I did not. That's looking pretty good. Just taking a look from a distance. Alright, let's do the opposite side now. I think I need to do the same thing over here. Let me know if the music is too loud and I'll turn it down. What? Maybe try refreshing? Let me know if y'all lost my video feed. Refreshing worked? Okay. Yeah, if you lost my video feed, please refresh the stream. It looks like Corey had a momentary loss. I'm gonna turn the background music down. Just a little bit. Let me know if that's better. Get on my end. Okay, here. Alright. Also, hi to Sean on YouTube. Just noticed you posted over there. Yeah, I'm also streaming over on YouTube. I've been experimenting with it for a little while. You know, I don't know if I'm making much traction over there. I thought it would be fun to see if there's like, you know, maybe there's an audience on that platform. I'm also over on Twitch as well. I don't really think I get much traction from those two. Better. Good. It's hard for me to tell because like I have my headphones in so I can kind of like hear it, but I can't hear like my own voice. So if you ever do have a situation where like you're like, whoa, you're killing me, just let me know and I'll turn it down. Also, Shamrays, Ahmed, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I really apologize. Oh, we had a bunch of people follow. Also, Kaiser and Fahim. Let's do a little thanks for the follow. Oh, it's my fall graphics. Hold on, let me switch out my thanks for following for the correct one. It's winter time now, Jack. Get it together. We need some winter donuts. There we go. Thanks for following. Oh, I see Oliver over on Twitch. Y'all are just hopping all over the place to say hi. Thanks, everyone. You can find, I think it might be up right now, actually. Over there. Way over there. jackwatson.design/links is where you can find where I'm at on all over the internet. So, if you've it's easier than, there's so many social media platforms these days. It's easier to just go there and find all the links. So, my Twitch and YouTube are over there as well. But you might know my YouTube if you watch Adobe Live, since I, moderate from that account. For what it's worth. I'm also going to do the same thing on this side, but it's probably going to be a little less intense of a highlight. Since we're kind of on the shadowy side over here. And this time I'm going to make sure to join these before I do this. You know, there's more efficient ways, I should say, of doing what I'm doing here, but I'm so used to using the Pathfinder now to like cut away things that that's just how I work. That's my process. Because I know some of you over there are like, why not just use the shape builder to do that? I know. I'm sorry. I just like the Pathfinder, you know? Pathfinder is one of my favorite tools. The free transforms one of my favorite tools. The lasso tool is quickly becoming one of my favorite tools. Simply because there are a lot of times when I need to like, let me just kind of do a brief demonstration without messing up my stuff. There are times when I need to like, this is maybe not a great example. Let's draw like random shapes, right, that have kind of difficult points, right? If I try to grab with like the direct selection tool and I want to grab all of these inside points, it's kind of difficult to do that, right? Like, it's kind of annoying. If you've ever tried to hold down shift and select and then you're like trying to click on these individual points, the lasso tool is your friend in these situations. To select these points, you're just going to grab it, you're going to draw a selection area, basically, and it's gonna select those points for you so you can move them around. I know this is probably not like the greatest example, I just wanted to kind of demonstrate it really quickly, but there's times when I want to just move points that are like inside of something, and that's really handy for doing that kind of stuff. So that's why it's quickly becoming my favorite tool. because I don't have to, you know, deal with like just with the direct selection tool and the selection tool. When you drag, you can, I don't know if you can really see it on my screen. It's pretty light, but you can see that it makes like that dotted line box for like the stuff that it's going to select when you drag to select is going to be whatever's contained inside of that selection box you drag out. But it's always a square or a rectangle. You can't really, you know, the only way you can select things, like if I wanted to select all of the points around at like some kind of weird angle or something, it would be more difficult for me to do that. I'd have to like hold down shift and select individual points, and maybe I would miss one. So that's my advice for you today. Don't sleep on the lasso tool. Did anybody catch Ryan's offset this week on Adobe Live? I think Oliver was there, Clever was there. Clever, I don't know if I said hi to you. I didn't. Hello. Alright, I'm just taking a look at things. Clever says hi, Jack. Yeah. Anyways, Ryan's offset. The thing I love about offset is just you can really tell the like amount of work that Ryan puts into like each and every guest on there. Like it really feels like you know, he does his research before, you know, the guest comes on, which is nice. And I feel like a lot of that makes for like nice conversation. Anyways, the reason I brought it up, also Thabit, thank you so much for the compliment. Mookort says I missed yesterday's, yeah. There are replays if you want to check it out. What was I gonna say? Oh, the like, I didn't know that was their segment or whatever. With the different. I really like that. I think that would be a fun thing to do on like all of the streams. Like, you know, tell me the secrets, tools that I don't know about. But one of the guests was talking about draw inside. I was curious if anybody was a big fan. I am not a huge fan of that tool. It's very similar to like it may just, the reason I bring this up is it's very similar in that like it's not my go-to just because I'm more adept at using like the clipping masks and stuff. Also, Hamad, welcome. Welcome all the new folks. Let me know if you're joining in from Adobe Live or where you're coming and hanging out with me from. Say hi in the chat. We're working on some Crock of Time stickers. This is Corey, one of our moderators, has a food and fermentation community, so we're working on some stickers for his Patreon. We've got quite a few done so far. But we're working on the wizard, which is the one that he's most excited about, I think, is the wizard. But if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Thabit says, I need to fix my logo. How can I send that to you? Well, if you need help with your logo, we've got an Illustrator Discord, and I would highly recommend you post there. That's going to be the best place for you to get kind of like, you know, help. You can share like screenshots of your work, and the moderators and mentors over there are going to be able to help you out a lot more. I'm actually wondering if I should pull this out and work on this kind of over here. Might be easier. I'm also going to put a background behind this so I can see what I'm doing. Also, if you didn't know, speaking about tips, and now I have to remember where it is. You can change your, there's a lot of stuff under view that seems to be the area where people get tripped up the most. Like people accidentally turn off, hide edges and things like that. When you do that, hide bounding box is another big one. And if I accidentally do that, you can see that when I go to my direct selection tool, I lose, like, I actually have this corner selected, but you can't see right now because I've accidentally turned that on. But the thing I want to show you under here is the transparency grid. When you're working on stuff, if you want to actually see, instead of seeing white, which is kind of like, and the background isn't actually white, it's just transparent. It's similar to like if you worked in InDesign and the background is just like the paper. It's like you can think of the background in Illustrator as like it's whatever you're putting it on, right? Unless you put a background behind it. And this is kind of a good way to kind of demonstrate what I mean by that. Like, these images aren't on a background unless I export them and I choose to add a white background behind it when I export, like, a PNG. But generally speaking, like, there's no background in this unless I add it, or I add it on export. But if you ever wanted to see a transparency grid instead of seeing that white because it kind of messes you up, you can do that under here. You can also go, there's a way to change the artboard color. I'm not a big fan of that because it doesn't actually keep that background color. It's just kind of like for you to view, but you can also go into preferences and, oh, where is it? There's a way to change the background color, the interface color, if you wanted to work on, it changes basically all of the interface elements to be darker or lighter if you prefer to work on darker or lighter backgrounds. I know some people actually prefer to work on like white for whatever reason. I think that, I don't know, they find it easier to work on like having the artboard and the background color the same. It's really up to you. But and you can also change the UI scaling. I usually bring it up when I'm working on the challenges so you can see my UI better, but regardless, I actually find, and this is another thing that was kind of brought up, I don't know if it was brought up on Ryan's stream, but it was brought up recently on Adobe Live, and I actually find, and this is funny, I find myself working a lot on the gray kind of off artboard and then putting my final stuff on the artboard. Not in this case because I already have this guy over here, but it's just interesting that like a lot of artists will work on a gray or a toned background because it's easier to kind of like add highlights and shadows, but yeah, I kind of subconsciously end up doing that with the background. Regardless, we need to make this crock match this crock a little bit more with the lid and stuff. So I'm gonna keep blue for now. And we want it to be pretty similar to this. We want it to be recognizable as like being of the logo, if that makes sense. And not that I want to get into like, you know, some of the stuff we're gonna go on into during the challenges, but you know, it's totally valid and fine to have elements as a part of your brand. Like, I'm making these stickers. They're on brand, but they are not the brand, right? And so you can have elements like that like are similar. And you should have elements like that are similar. That kind of is what defines like a brand, in my opinion, or like a brand system. It should be like flexible and allow for art like this to be made, in my opinion. Unicorn says same about working on the gray. It's funny how like it's probably not what was intended, but it's become kind of like a part of my process working on the gray. Like, oh, I don't even think about it, but like, yeah, I just kind of work over there because I don't want to commit to the artboard, and now I don't like. It's probably like really actually unintentionally helpful to work that way. Unicorn's laughing. It's true though, and I don't have any problem saying that as, somebody who's been doing this for a while. I don't have a problem with being like, yeah, I don't, admitting my flaws. But yeah, like, I don't want to commit to putting anything on the artboard. I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that level of commitment yet. But yeah. I feel like working that way too kind of like eliminates the, a little bit of the white canvas. You know? Like that phenomenon or that feeling of like not knowing where to begin. Like, well then just don't begin on the artboard. You know? There's no rules. You've got all of this. You've got all of this. You don't need, you know. Sometimes I wish I could work that way in Photoshop. I know, that's a big thing that throws me off about working in Photoshop, is I feel like I have no, I just hadn't have to like work on everything in the space. But I mean, it's good and bad, because it does force you to kind of like, I don't do a lot of Photoshop painting. The last Photoshop painting we did, actually, I think was a year ago. We made the, it wasn't even Photoshop painting. We did it in fresco. The ancient hero. It does kind of force you to work in a different kind of a way, though. In terms of like you're building up layers of paint, and you're letting things kind of like blend into each other, and you're kind of like, it's just kind of a different mindset. I feel like. At least for me, when I go into that world. Which is not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It's just different. You know, that's like when people come in and like, I don't like the way that Illustrator works. And it's like, well, it's not like a bad thing. You should kind of like... They also talked a bit about this earlier this week on Ryan's offset, which was that like I am forever telling myself I'm gonna learn 3D and like actually do it, and I give it a try every year and fail. But I think it's important to do that anyways. I'm gonna keep doing it anyways, because I don't know, it's even if I'm not like successful and I don't become like a big 3D artist, you know, like I don't really get it, I don't go that way with my work. I still think it's important to like put yourself in uncomfortable positions, or like allow yourself to be a beginner, because those skills subconsciously are gonna like bleed into your other work. Like, you may not love 3D, but like maybe there's something you learn from that kind of like becomes a part of your process elsewhere. You can always learn something. Alright, I think we do need to define a bottom to this somehow. I'm gonna actually put it back on top of there before I do that. That's pretty good. So. I like this song. By the way. Everybody's over on YouTube and on Twitch. It's making me laugh. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. could I order some of this Crock of Time, please? The stickers? And that's on Corey if Corey wants to sell them, like, or whatnot. I mean, I'm just making them for Corey to use for. Corey has like a Patreon for Crock of Time, but I'm not. You know, I'm open to however he wants to do it. The time, I need the time. You request that the Crock is glowing? Oh my god, why do you have to make it so complicated? Glowing. Alright. Gosh. How am I gonna do that? In the same flat color style. Well, typically when I've done that, I've done just like a circle type of a thing. Alright, I might need to visually center this rather than literally center it, if you know what I mean. Let's grab our color here. But like, what color do you want it to glow? I guess is my initial question. Do you want it to glow of a specific color? Light blue, like the original orb. Alright. Like that blue? Or more saturated? Give me a sec to straighten it out. Let's go to our saturation and pull it up. Is that what you had in mind? We do need like another, we need something along the bottom. Need something. Come on. Oh, you know what? This might be. can eat apples. I'm just gonna add both of these colors. I don't like that as much. Or should the details on the crock be not that color? Now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if they should be... Should they be blue or should they be not blue? Like, not necessarily yellow, but you get the idea. Shadows seem dark when it's glowing. Yeah, I just don't want to make it like that color. Or that color. We could just tone it down again. Beard color. That looks good. Hopefully the last thing that I landed upon is the thing that looks good. Oh, I need to figure out what color, or I mean what font to use for pondering my Crocs. That's what we're putting on here, right? Pondering my Croc. Pondering my Croc. Yep. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Croc. I'm not like, I don't love it at this point. Which is a problem. I don't like I think it's the bottom. Like, I'm not in love with, like, this area. I don't know how to, like, fix it. You know? This is gonna be another one where I'm not gonna be sure where to put the type. Also, it's not pondering, it's pondering. Let's look at the type window. There it is. Or I could do it over here. Let's look at it. I feel like you're gonna want it in this, the brand font. But, I feel like all caps is a bit aggressive for the statement. Timothy says needs to be symmetrical. It might be that it might be, that might be what we need to do at the bottom. I could just like bring it all the way across instead. I kind of liked there being a break, but you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Corey says the shadow was good as it was. Well, Corey's the client, so I have to go with that. Well, we're gonna leave it for now, and I'm gonna work on the type. And I'll come back to that. So, how about a Crocs croc? I'm not sure what that means, Yoann. You'll have to let me know. I think they meant Crocs. Like shoes? I'm looking at fonts while we're doing this, by the way. I just have my I'm not gonna like I like font base for font management. If you aren't on the font management train, I don't know how people do it. I mean, I have to have font management, so that's just me personally. I guess we could go with take a look at some of the fonts we've already used rather than introducing something new. I think I outlined all of these, so. Oops. There's a working layer. Or it's all kind of become one now. I do have a working layer under here. With the type. Some of it anyways. Let's grab some of these. Here. And we'll make them all blue. And take a look at what fonts we have already used. Capitalize the first initial letter, which is why we're getting that. I don't mind this one. I'm not so much a fan of that one. I like the last two, which are probably both Brandon Nickerson fonts. Yes, they are, of course. Oh, they're both cringe. One's just heavier than the other. Thoughts? Opinions? Stian saw McDonald's inspired Crocs the other day, and now I kind of want them. You know, I as much as like, I've never owned any Crocs, believe it or not. I never have owned a pair of Crocs, and I don't currently own a pair of Crocs. I guess that would be the same thing. But regardless, I don't own Crocs, and I've never have, and I don't have any, like, there's no, like, reason why. It's not like I am opposed to the concept. I don't think they're particularly attractive shoes. They're also made out of foam, but, which is weird. I just don't own any, and I never have. Something I never thought about until now. Alright, well, what do we do with this? I think initially I liked the idea of it kind of like being the base here. Attractive is not a word I'd match with Crocs either. No, but they're not designed for, you know, to be attractive, right? They're meant to be like function over form. But they must be comfortable as there's so much room for your toes. Right. Stian had a pair back in the day. It was nice in the summer, especially around the pool. I just never have owned a pair. And it's not really because, like I said, it's not really a diss. I just never have. I never went out of my way to own a pair. I never just didn't do. I like the font. I don't love the placement, so. Put it over here. I don't think this is gonna look good if we were to do type on a path, though. You know, I just don't think it's gonna work out. Certain fonts, like, it takes a very specific type of font to look good in type on a path, like overarching. Might be nice to do 2 lines with pondering above. Like do a something like this. I don't know if I have snap to glyph on. Let's take a look. I do. I wonder why it's not. There it is. Just trying to get it aligned. I feel like there's 2 spaces here. It's very big. Sion's gotta run out in the cold. Don't do that. It's like a polar plunge. See y'all next time. -20 Celsius, -4 Fahrenheit. That is too cold. It is not that cold here. No thanks. That space between my and Crock feels big for— I feel the same way, and I don't know why. I keep looking at it and I'm like, why is it so big? Why is the space so big? We could fix it by changing the font size, or we can adjust the... which might be easier. That's better. I almost want this to be smaller and more spaced out, but that might be dumb. But we're gonna try. Oh, also, why is my text scaled up? This might be a bad idea, but I kind of want something like that. Maybe even smaller. How do we feel? Pondering, like with some space. Speaking of Crocs, what were we talking about? Space for toes. Oh yeah, the space. That's what it's for. This is just the Crock of fonts. Crock fonts, big and comfy. My kind of font, by the way. Also Nick's here. Welcome, Nick. I've got links to Nick's stuff in the description too. Oh, Corey's saying on the topic of fermentation, KojiCon 2024 tickets just went on sale today. If anybody's into that, there you go. You can catch all of the pros making stuff. There's like demos, yeah. It's a conference. Obviously, it's a virtual conference. You can find more info at that link. But Corey always has a good time hanging out with the folks over there. Okay. What am I doing with this type? It could just work straight across. And we could, you know, do something with it. Style it. It does feel very big, but I guess it would have to be big if it's a sticker. I would probably do another half. Let me show you. I might do something like this. This sort of a shape for this one as well. Obviously not this color. Here we go. I don't need this anymore. Okay, go over here. Let's do. Just to give you an idea of like what I'm thinking. As an option. We need to group some things. I kind of let that slide. Let's group the wizard. Let's isolate that. Let's make sure that everything is organized here. I can't stand unorganized layers. Drives me crazy. That's not what I wanted to do. Group that. There we go. There's one option. I just don't think this is gonna work out. That's kind of cute. Another tip for you, if you didn't know this, because I've seen people struggle with this before. If you're working with an envelope to store, which is technically what a text warp is, the text warps are just, the warps are just predefined. That you can see over here that actually just calls it an envelope warp when you use these. Anyways, my tip here is it's works similarly if you've ever seen me show how the beta mockup tool works in Illustrator. You can click in and out of editing the envelope or editing the contents. Anyways, so if you don't have to actually like go out of, release the envelope to edit it, you can just go here, and now you can see I can edit just the type itself. And if you wanted to go back, because now you're like, oh, but now I want to edit the envelope, you can just click back over here, and now you can adjust if you wanted to, like the level of bend in the envelope to store it. So just a little tip for you if you didn't know that existed. It certainly makes your life easier rather than having to like release and regroup things. So Arshia, welcome. How are you? I'm doing good. We're working through these stickers designs for Corey. So who's signing up for, I guess, KojiCon right now. You'll have to, I don't know, you'll have to let me know what you think of the type, Corey. If it's too cute, or if you have an opinion one way or the other. Did you lower the opacity of the glows on the Crock? I did not. Oh, yes. Yes or no? You like the left more than the right. I had a feeling you were going to say that. Yeah, so how I did this, I've done this you could do this a couple different ways. I lowered the opacity on these because, a solid color was just not gonna, you could use a solid color, so, this is a little trick that I like to employ occasionally. So let's say we've got an object, copy and paste. It almost looks like a gradient. Yeah, that's the idea. So you start with, we're gonna start with the color here. So like your central object, if you want to add a glow to something, but you don't want it to be soft, you want it to be flat, so you want it to be the same style as our character here. You could do it with solid color, so I'll demonstrate that here because it's a little bit easier to see. But you want to start like tight. So a glow or a fall off is gonna start tighter, and it's gonna get looser as it goes farther away. So we'll start with like our darkest values are gonna be tight to the original shape, and then I'm gonna do a copy and paste in back. I'm gonna pull this one out a little bit farther away and lighten it. And I'll do it fairly extreme on this one so you can see. But this is how I'd go about adding like a glow to something without using a soft glow. And what I mean by a soft glow is like a literal glow or a gradient. So we'll just put our glow on this. We'll make it normal. We'll blur it out significantly. So this would be like a soft glow versus this is like a hard edged. Something that I would use with this style. Now you can't see it, of course, but there you go. But you can even see here that like it gets wider. I don't know if you could see the banding on the outside edge, but it's tighter in with the more opaque colors, and it gets wider as it goes farther out. So you just basically, whenever you're doing flat shading like this, just kind of like a tip for you, I guess, you're gonna be like breaking down the existing lighting into extremes. So you could actually probably go even more extreme with this if you wanted to. Like if you really wanted just like limited shading, you could just have like, you know, 2 colors and that would be enough. I would probably do something like this if I was working with something that was gonna be really small. So like if this was a light and we wanted it to be really small in the scene, you know, you could go something like that. It just gives the like indication that there's that glow while keeping it in the same style. But that goes the same for like everything that I do. Like I'm taking the extreme values of shading. You can do, I should probably recenter this. You can go as like heavy-handed. Like I could add more gosh, I've like lost the plot here. There we go. I could add more midtones. Like I could keep building this up to add as much like detail and shading as I want, but I'm just going with like the 3 colors here, partially because these are stickers and so I want to limit the number of colors that we've got in here, but also it's just a personal preference in my style. But you could keep going. Like I could add another level of highlight in here, I could add another level of shading or like more midtones, more values, and the more values that you add, the more details you're gonna add. Like, right? So you remember the first level that we did was just like the most extreme highlights and the most extreme shadows, and that's fine if that's the style that you're going for, or if you're going for like really flat colors, like some of this. I've just got 2 levels. I've got a dark and a light to like differentiate between, like to add some depth to it, right? But you know, it's really up to you, honestly. But it's still matching like what the lighting is, right? I'm just kind of flattening it as I'm creating it. So I'm creating the same, I'm treating this as if this is like a lit subject, but I'm not adding all of the same level of detail and shading that you would if you wanted something that was like photorealistic or like highly painted. You certainly can. I went down a rabbit hole with my own work where I was like, I feel like everybody kind of does at some point in their life. Oh, I just realized that my my type thing is off. I'll have to fix that. Also, for some reason, my website is redirecting to Corey's right now. I think I got it sorted out. But jackwatson.com redirects to Corey's website. Wanna check it out?
Okay.
Anyways, I just wanted to show you, let me look at my sketches. I don't think I ever actually finished it. Here's some random things I've done in the past. Here we go. This one is an example I always show. So, like, you can get really crazy in Illustrator if you want to, in terms of, like, trying to get something that, like, really reads as, like, painterly or like, you know, highly rendered. But anyways, so that was a point in my life when I was like really trying to push, you know, Illustrator to be really here's an example with 3D and gradients. But you know, it's a personal preference. It's a goal. Like what are you trying to make? What are your goals? What's the final output? All things that you should consider while you're working. For, you know, how detailed you want to get. Oh, you like the little mushroom? Yeah. The little mushroom guy. I did a reel on Instagram if y'all are into like Adobe Firefly workflows. I actually took that little mushroom guy and I made a reel on Instagram that shows how to change the style of it, using generative recolor and using text to vector to make textures. That was really cool. It's very similar to the pro tips. It's actually like the pro tip stream was actually like inspired by this. But if you take a look over here, I've got a little reel where I took this guy. I don't know how to like. It's not playing in my browser. Oh, there we go. But anyways, you want to go check that out. I feel like there is a way to go. Let me look at the actual reel. No, I guess not. I guess reels don't have a play bar. But My point is that like I took it from being like really cute to like really kind of spooky, and a different look. Like here's an example. This is kind of what we're doing, like stickers I created. So a very different kind of like style, limited colors, limited shading. JackWatson.com should be fixed now. Yeah, weird that it was like redirecting to your site. Oops. Alright, so Corey likes this one. Do we go... Corey, I have a question for you. I'm sorry to be inundated with you with questions. And we might not have time to do this since it's already 9:45. We've got 15 minutes left, but... Do we go a similar route in that we add, like, we make this look like scenic, if that makes sense? Because this is giving, like, window or the balcony vibes in this style. And I'm not sure if that's, like, you want to go that way. Similar, I guess, similar to how we did the sourdough bread, kind of, we were playing with the, like, bread oven kind of look. And it's still kind of, like, we still kind of got that going. It's just maybe a little bit less obvious. We could try to do something like that. And that actually, now you got me thinking how I could do this. In terms of colors. Like, what color is the background of the sticker? And do we add something down here? I'm just gonna play for a minute. Like, what if we do... Maybe not that dark, but I'm thinking. You just found out that you're using the wrong profile. Same avatar, though. Oh! Yeah, I've done that before when moderating. By accident. I'm not loving the color contrast on this. You like the darker background? In the darker inside background or the darker outside background? Crock glows more. Yeah, we could go. It's a delicate balance. Now we're dealing with like color contrast issues, right? I'm getting it just right. Unicorn says, looking for the shroom on your Behance page, and I saw they didn't appreciate a project, then another. And that's when I knew, yeah. I see all of your appreciations, Unicorn. Oh, looks like I missed a bunch of people again for the that followed me on Behance. I'm so sorry. I turn my notifications off sometimes. Well, especially when I'm doing like the hosting the Firefly events, because I don't want like random pop-ups on my screen. So I silence my notifications, and I miss all of them. I'm just gonna do one big thank you to all the people for the. First of all, we need to do a thank you to Unicorn for appreciating a bunch of projects in the wrong account. But then also Khadija, May, Shigara, Thabet or Thabet, Ellen, Rise. Oh, I think that's where we ended. Alright, thanks to all the new folks for the follow. I really appreciate it. For coming and hanging out and checking out my work. Thank you. I'm sorry I missed your follows. I was focused. Arshia says, thank you so much, Jack. Thank you for hanging out. Alright, I think we're in a pretty good place with this. Obviously I need to like bring everything together. The background and the foreground. You know. This is definitely the most elaborate sticker, but I'm okay with that because I know this is, like I said, I know this is the one that Corey was the most excited about. I do kind of want to do, I don't know how this is gonna look, but the original meme has like a, I'm so tempted to go like slightly darker still, because the original meme has like this like enclave type of a thing. I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's too much. Now I just want to add like a ton of depth to this, but I need to add more contrast to the foreground in order to do it. But I think that's gonna be it for today. We've only got about like less than 10 minutes left, so I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably be working on this again, because like I said, I feel like I started it and then I didn't exactly get to finish it. So we're gonna keep working on these stickers. Although we got a couple finished already. We got this was the first one that we did, and we got this one, and we got this one. We got a bunch of stuff. I do need to finish the caution sticker ideas. We didn't actually get this one finished. And then obviously the wizard. So thank you, Corey, for sharing all the links to all the things. If you want to, Frank, yes, Frank, you're late to the party. I'm just wrapping up. I stream now pretty regularly on Friday mornings. Well, Friday morning for me. Fridays from 8 to 10 a.m. So, yeah. I try to do it because I know that, like, people are on different time zones, and so not everybody can attend to the, like, evening, weekend streams. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. Normally I stream on the weekends, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back tomorrow, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, if you can attend and you want to attend, come back and join me then. Standard Time, oh my gosh. I hate Daylight Savings Time. I just can't, I can't keep it straight. We're currently in Daylight Time. No, we're not. We're currently in Standard Time. So, 8 to 10 a.m. Standard Time on Fridays, and 4 to 6 p.m. Standard Time on Saturdays has been kind of like what I've been doing recently, and it seems to be working out. So I might, you know, update my schedule everywhere to reflect that, rather than Saturdays and Sundays. Only for now, because I can do that. You know, we'll see. We're trying it. It's been a trial, but if you want to hang out with me again tomorrow, I'll be working on these 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our friends, the Crock stickers, the Crock crew. I'm just making up names for your group, Corey. If you want to check out Corey's Crock of Time, we've got those links in the description. the Discord, the Patreon, the website, and then I've got links to everybody else's stuff too. We've had Nick, Corey, and Nick are both moderators for my streams, so be sure to go support them. Ong Mei Lang says, "Thank you, first time joining your stream. Like your stickers design. Well, welcome. I'm glad you joined. It's always nice to have new faces in the chat. Feel free to come back and hang out. I'm always happy to answer any questions you have too while you join. I just want to keep reiterating that. So if you have any questions, if I do something, you're like, wait, can you show me that again? Or I have a question how to do something in Illustrator. I'm always happy to kind of take a break from what I'm working on to show y'all how to do that. But yeah, I've got links to all the stuff for the moderators. We had a bunch of live streamers in the chat. Umacorn, well, maybe not a bunch. We had Umacorn and we had Sean hanging out with us today. So be sure to go and follow Umacorn and Sean on Behance and check out their live streams as well. They're both great live streamers. Umacorn, another great Illustrator user, Illustrator Pro. Go check out the stuff that she does. And then Umacorn, although Umacorn branches out and does a lot of stuff too, similar to me, I guess. And then Sean also jumps around in all the different programs. Sean's a Adobe Express ambassador and also very good at using Photoshop, so go check out Sean. And then Sean and I stream during the week on Mondays through Thursdays in the Firefly Discord, if you want to come and hang out with us there while we try to break Firefly or try to generate strange things. So come hang out with us there during the week. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you on Twitch and thank you on Behance. If I don't see you all tomorrow, I hope you have a great weekend and a good start to your week. Just a reminder, a little shameless plug that I'll be running the Illustrator challenges on every Tuesday in January, starting next week, and we'll be doing branding stuff. So if you want to come and learn about putting together a nice, like, professional client presentation for your brand, for, you know, a brand, and also just kind of like learning the process from kind of start to finish, come hang out with us the month of January, and I'll be going over all of that stuff, and it's going to be a good time. So yeah, that's all I got. I hope you, like I said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Do have to go. I've got a very busy day ahead of me. So yeah. Sean, I don't even know what that says. Oh, bye, Jack. Sean's got the fancy type in the chat. I've been so slacking on the fancy type lately. I gotta get back into that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.